The Summer Game Fest 2024 is upon us, and it is time to talk about the Not E3 and what can we expect from the RPGs in those showcases. Now, keep in mind that there will be a lot of RPGs, and so I cannot really cover them all. So I just decided to go with the top 5 predictions I'm looking forward the most. Now, that doesn't mean that they have to be showcased there. That doesn't mean that we are getting really any new information. But this is about what I would like to see from the Summer Game Fest. So let's get right into it. And the first one is pretty straightforward. And I'm pretty sure we will see something here. That is Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, which is the first expansion that just released Season 4. And Season 4 put Diablo 4 in such a good state that they're finally going in the right direction, and they have just fixed a lot of the issues they previously had. And now I feel like that Diablo was just set up for taking the next step, and the next step will be the expansion. I want to hear about the new class. We know that this class will be a completely new thing. Like, they have made it very clear in an announcement that this is not a class we have ever seen in another Diablo game before, and this is something completely new. Now, how truthful they are with that, we will see, of course. And I also want to see like some of the gameplay elements. Like, they just added more end game in Season 4, so I'm kind of curious to see what they are doing with the expansion. And in general, like, I'm pretty sure that Blizzard will do the Blizzard thing and will ask like 50 or 60 bucks for the expansion. And I just want to see what that entails, right? This will be at the Xbox showcase. It will not be at the Summer Game showcase from Jeff Keighley, but this will be at the Blizzard showcase. I'm 100% sure about that. And I'm curious about it. I'm just curious about it. Now, the next game on the list, I know some people will say, wait, but that is a survival game. Yeah, but it also has RPG elements in it. And this is also like, I love to cover survival games here as well. And this one is, of course, Dune Awakening. Now, I'm not a big fan of the books or the movies. I've never read the books. I have watched the movie, the new one, and I love the first part, I love the second part, but that's about it, the connection I have with Dune. So when I first heard that Funcom is now working on the Dune, I was skeptical because I first thought, hey, this is just Conan Exiles in the desert. No, wait, Conan Exiles is in the desert. You know what I mean. I just thought this would be Conan Exiles with a new skin on top of it. And then we finally saw some gameplay, and we had the showcase, right? And you finally realize, wait a minute, this is so much more. This is something different, right? Like, yes, they have those survival aspects elements in it, but the crafting looks super interesting. The building looks so much better. I think this is an improvement thanks to Unreal as well. And it seems like they are also now focusing on PvE much more. Like, that was one of the problems I had with Conan Exiles, especially at the beginning, at the release of the game. It was mostly living from the PvP aspect, and a lot of the systems were never fully fleshed out. So I'm just like, it seems like with Dune Awakening, Funcom has the means and the budget to make it a really good game. I can I just say how much I love the when they're showcasing how you get resources, right? The mining, that you actually have a laser and you have to like kind of do some art to get like stuff out of a rock formation or something like that. Like, that looks super cool. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So again, Dune Awakening, I hope we will get more gameplay. I hope we are even getting a beta announcement, or maybe we are finally getting some early access announcement. Keep in mind that the game should have been in early access. I think they wanted to. This is why I stopped myself there a little bit, because I don't really want to say anything wrong. But I think they wanted to go into early access last year, and then they have pushed it further into this year. Of course, I think that was just rumors, so take your time. The next game on the list is Titan Quest 2. I love the original Titan Quest. I thought that Titan Quest was really, really good. Unfortunately, it didn't sell well. The studio did go under. Then The people who made Titan Quest came back as Great Entertainment and made Grim Dawn. And finally, they had a success with Grim Dawn. I think they are now working on Grim Dawn 2. But Titan Quest was always the first project, and that was forgotten. Now, Titan Quest 2 got announced since Embracer took over, aka THQ Nordic. They also brought more expansions to the very first Titan Quest and released an anniversary edition where they upgraded some of the graphics and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think Titan Quest 2, we haven't seen any gameplay yet. We had only a cinematic trailer, and then we got some screenshots at least. That's something, right? But I'm still hoping they keep the talent trees and develop them a little bit further. Like, Titan Quest 2 has a lot of potential because Titan Quest 1 had a lot of issues. It had a lot of issues. It had a lot of character development problems when it came to balance. Like, some of the classes were completely overpowered, some other classes were far too weak, and you always had the feeling that some of the classes were even just created for co-op gameplay. And I want to see what they can do with a new developer on Titan Quest 2. Now, the next one is not really a game per se. I want to see what Bethesda is up to, right? Bethesda, well, we know that they are probably working on the Starfield expansion. I have to admit, I'm very disappointed in what Bethesda did with Starfield. Not just the release, but everything which happened afterwards. We got now what? 2 bigger patches, which finally started to fix some of the issues they had at the release, right? And so I'm like, okay, 2 bigger patches. We are now getting an expansion probably by the end of the year, or the first DLC, which will add a few things. But Starfield had so many more issues, and one of the things I just can't get beyond is they have 1,000 planets in this game, and after 25 planets, it just repeats itself, and it's so boring. They wasted so much energy on just boring elements, and they didn't have to, because it's a video game. Like, I know that Bethesda has defended themselves with, well, we wanted to be realistic, and this is what you just find out there in the galaxy. Yeah, sure, but again, this is a video game. You don't have to bring in the boring shit. You cut the boring shit out because, again, you're making a video game. And so I have been very disappointed in Starfield, and I'm not sure if the DLC will change any of that. So I want to see what they are working on next. Now, I know there have been like some hopes that they might work on a new Fallout game faster, that there is now another developer like Obsidian who is taking in the Fallout IP a little bit. And I don't really believe that, because I don't believe that Bethesda nor Xbox had the foresight that they started to work on a Fallout game way before the actual show came out, and they could like build on that show, on the hype the show brought to the Fallout universe again. So I don't really think we will see much there when it comes to Fallout. I would love to, and I hope it's more than just Fallout 76. I'm sorry, Fallout 76 is not a true Fallout game. I know they are still trying to sell it as such, and they're like, yeah, but NPCs are now there. Yeah, sure, but it's still not a true Fallout game. Like, it seems like they sometimes miss a little bit on what is the essence of a Fallout game. And, well, it's not just mutants, ghouls, and the power armor. Sure, they're part of that world, but that's not really what makes a Fallout game interesting, in my opinion. But hey, maybe that's just me. But I want to see if Bethesda is working with another studio, even though they are now fully focused on the next Elder Scrolls game. And I want to see if we might get something Fallout related sooner than 2035. That would be nice. Now, with all that said, let's talk about the last game. And this is certainly not last but not least one. Wait, no, actually it is a last but not least game. What am I saying? Let's talk about Avowed. Wow. So I want to see more of Avowed, but because the first showcase of Avowed didn't win me over. Like when they I think it was over a year ago when they first showcased the trailer, I was like, yo, this looks good. This looks cool. Then they had this actual Avowed overview thingy, which took like 7 minutes. And that was one of the worst showcases I've ever seen. It was so boring and meaningless. Like the combat looked rubbish. And then they were focusing on, yeah, we have a tree where you can talk to people. Look at this. You can actually have conversations and you can make decisions. And it's like, yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's an RPG, right? It's very much what you do, Obsidian. So I kind of hope so. Would be bad if it wasn't, but just Avowed, like this long showcase you were also seeing here in the background, just couldn't win me over. It just didn't work for me, and I was pretty disappointed by it. But I'm also believing in Obsidian because so far Obsidian has not let me down with their games. And so I'm hoping that the next time, which is at the Xbox showcase, right, they will showcase Avowed. I would just leave that showcase and go, man, now I'm hyped for this game. Now I want to play this. This looks awesome, right? I want to see the improvements. But we will all find that out when the Summer Game Fest is starting on June 7th. And of course, we will all watch that together. You will also see that on my Mole Reacts channel. Or if you want to watch it live with me and my community, make sure to keep an eye out on the at ChaosMole Plays channel here on YouTube. And we will stream it there. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like. And also, if you're new to the channel, you want to see more role-play games, and of course, some survival games, I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel. However, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Bye-bye.